matter, right? And so I started to think, and I remembered some friends I had in the country of Africa, and they were writing me letters saying, Dan, there's a disease called AIDS that's wiping out people our age. I was 25 at the time, I'm 31 now. So he said, Dan, there's people wiping out, there's AIDS, a disease called AIDS wiping out people our age. He said, Dan, AIDS is primarily contracted by teenagers, okay, because you get it from bad sexual decisions, right? And so they're getting it as teenagers, but does AIDS kill you right away? No, it takes time, right? So they're getting it as teenagers, but they're dying in their young 20s, late 20s, 30s, but because they were having sex, they were also having babies, right? So they're having babies at 18, dying at 23, and who's left? A 5-year-old. They're getting AIDS at 21, dying at 31, and who's left? A 10-year-old, right? And so they said, Dan, what do you call a kid with no parents? What do you call them? Orphan. Orphan, right? They said, Dan, we have thousands of orphans in our community. There are tens of millions of orphans in this southern part of Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. And so they said, Dan, we built buildings so that we could move South African Christian families onto the property. And these families were adopting these kids. So it wasn't just, hey, throw as many kids as you can into a building, right, and give them food and water. It was, hey, these kids are getting families, right? And so these kids were also getting an education in a Christian school. And I said, wow, this is really amazing what these people are doing for these kids. I wonder how I can help. Well, if I dribbled 26 miles with a basketball, do you think I could raise a lot of awareness?
Yes.
Especially if I chose a big marathon. What would be a really big city around here that has a really big marathon? And the New York City. The New York City Marathon has over 40,000 runners. 2 million spectators live. All 5 boroughs of New York City. NBC is there. The New York Times is there. It's one of the biggest sporting events in the world. And I said, what if I dribbled the New York City Marathon with a basketball and wrote all my friends and family and said, if I dribbled 26 miles with a basketball, will you please donate to people I know in Africa for taking these kids? Do you think a lot of people would donate?
Yes.
Absolutely. And I signed up to dribble the New York City Marathon. Now, if you told some of your friends that you were going to do something that big, what would some of your friends say? You're crazy, right? But guys, when you start living with the Lord, we're going to talk about this when we finish, God's going to put people in your life to help you do it. It's not just going to be you. It's not going to be you by yourself. If you make this decision to say, God,